tonight.
Obesity is a disease, and people don't realize that.
An ABC 27 special presentation.
Bariatric surgery is the fastest growing set of procedures in the world right now.
This is not a quick fix. This is a way of life.
Penn State Hershey Surgical Weight Loss presents The Wait Is Over, Exploring Surgical Weight Loss. Brought to you by Penn State Milton S. Hershey Medical Center.
Good evening, I'm Chuck Rhodes. In recent years, obesity has become a major concern in the United States. 1 in 3 individuals is more than 20% over their ideal body weight. It's estimated that approximately 9 million adult Americans are morbidly obese, and more than 400,000 deaths are attributed to obesity. Tonight.
Thanks, Chuck. A Mifflin County woman knew her health was in jeopardy. She tried all kinds of diets to lose weight, but knew surgical weight loss was the only way.
Typical sounds come from Lower Tuscarora Presbyterian Church in Mifflin County. 59-year-old Gail Wheat was an organist there. Gail's fingers move so smoothly across the keys. 3 years ago, it was very difficult for her to walk up these steps to play the organ. She weighed 312 pounds.
My knees were starting to hurt, so there were steps to get up there, of course, and then you had to sit behind the organ on the organ bench, and I was too far away because I was so heavy, it was hard to reach the top keyboard.
Gail remembers the time when she was slim. That's when she met her husband, Buddy.
We met in high school band. We had our first date on May the 11th, 1967. We went to the band banquet together, and we dated ever since then.
She weighed 118 pounds, and we used to aggravate each other. I used to be able to pick her up, and I hadn't been able to do that in many, many years.
Gail's weight gain started in college. She was at 160.
I think my biggest problem, though, was probably portion size, because I always thought I had to have more. It's like being an alcoholic. I always say I'm a foodaholic. I would go to Weight Watchers or something and lose some weight, and then I would be back at the same place where then I would quit going to Weight Watchers or whatever and gain the weight back plus some.
She tried every way, every diet imaginable to lose weight. Even tried fasting, periodic, and did not work. She would lose maybe 30 and then gain 40 back.
The pounds added up year after year. The added weight took its toll.
I couldn't go shopping anymore. My husband and I like to ballroom dance, and I had to stop doing that. I just couldn't even get out and walk with him or anything because I couldn't go a half a block without having to stop and sit down. And I probably for years weighed around 250. And then probably the last 5 years before my surgery, I had that hip replacement and I gained a lot more. And that's when I knew I was up around 300. That really upset me to know that I was that heavy. And I just knew I had to do something.
The weight not only affected her everyday life, but her health.
Gail weighed over 300 pounds and was 5'4" when I met her, and that gave her a body mass index of 52. And her obesity was complicated by a number of associated medical conditions. I believe she had high blood pressure, she had elevated cholesterol, she had obstructive sleep apnea, so she had to wear a CPAP mask at night, reflux, joint problems, a number of issues related to the weight. So it wasn't just the weight she was worried about, she wanted to get healthier.
Gail turned to Penn State Hershey's surgical weight loss program for help.
I think Gail came in pretty determined that she wanted to have the gastric bypass.
I was very excited about having that kind of a tool to help me lose the weight.
I didn't want her to do it. I figured she could still possibly do it with self-control. And I said, all right, if you're that sincere about it, I'll go with you to the counseling sessions and we'll talk about it some more.
Their first appointment turned Gail and Buddy's life around.
I never knew what she weighed. In the first counseling session we went to, I stepped back when she stepped on the scales and she said, no, you better come up here and look at this. I stepped up and saw 312 pounds and I didn't, I never realized she weighed that much. And it broke my heart because I think it finally impacted on me at how much she'd been hurting all those years.
An opponent who quickly became a proponent of weight loss surgery.
I realized that was going to save her life. they convinced me that this was the thing for her, and I became a supporter of it.
We have here at Hershey Medical a 6-month preoperative program, so the patients come to see the dietitians. We talk about lifestyle change, nutrition, and physical activities. We ask them to eliminate sweetened beverages, any kind of liquid that has calories in it, eat out less frequently, eliminate or minimize fried foods and high-fat foods.
They weigh you at every time, and they expect you to lose some weight while you're going through the counseling.
Gail lost about 16 pounds and was ready for surgery.
I knew how much my life was going to change, but I was also really excited to get to that point and to get it done and to get on my way and on the journey.
Buddy remembers the moment before Gail was wheeled away.
I saw it in her eyes when she went into the operating room, how serious she was about this and how dedicated she was. So she helped me. She brought me along. She brought me along.
She had a laparoscopic Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. This is actually the most commonly performed operation for weight loss in the world. The first thing that's done is we make a small pouch off of the top of the stomach, and that small pouch is separated from the large part of the stomach. Then we work with the small bowel to bring a piece of bowel up and connect it to the pouch, so that the pouch, which is about the size of a golf ball, doesn't hold much food. What little food you do eat then goes directly into the small intestine, travels down a pipe, where there's finally another connection where the food mixes with digestive juices. That is why it's called a bypass. Food isn't traveling through the usual route.
It's great to have it done laparoscopically. I had 5 tiny incisions, so your recuperation time is really a lot less when you can do it that way.
After surgery, Gail had protein drinks for 2 weeks, then slowly moved into solid foods. Over time, her waist size decreased as her weight loss increased. She lost about 180 pounds.
I probably wore a 30 to 32W then, and I'm in an 8 to a 10 now.
Can you believe it?
No, I can't. I look at myself in the mirror and sometimes I just don't even realize it's me now.
Gail had a remarkable result. It's unusual, but she was probably one of my more motivated patients.
I've lost quite a bit of weight and I can do all those things that I couldn't do. My husband even bought me a bicycle and I was out riding bicycle this summer.
She looks great, just super. She's able to do things she hadn't done in years. And I'm very proud of what she's done and very grateful to God and all the people He put in our life to do this, to help her with this program.
And Gail said the main reason for this was because of her health. After the gastric bypass, her cholesterol dropped and she no longer has sleep apnea. Now, in the piece, Buddy mentioned that he was not able to pick up Gail in a number of years. Well, now he can. He also mentioned she looks like the woman he married 39 years ago. Back to you, Chuck.
Thank you, Deborah, and every woman likes to hear that, and I'll tell you, that's remarkable when you look at the before and after pictures, and they're joining us now on the set is the director of the surgical weight loss, and you saw her in the report there, Dr. Ann Rogers. And Doctor, obviously, the change is remarkable and that very successful in that particular operation. Is that typical that it's that successful?
Gail had a magnificent result. I'll hand it to her. On average, patients can expect to lose about 1/3 of their weight. So I figured Gail would probably lose 100 or 110 pounds. She clearly went way beyond that. She's very motivated. She's been sticking to the plan, made all the lifestyle changes, and it has paid off.
Now, when I look at that, and you showed the graphic of how it's done, what are the risks of surgery like this?
There are risks to any surgical procedure, that's true. Now, some of the risks that we talk about specific to the gastric bypass include leaks, ulcers, strictures. Some patients with rapid weight loss can form gallstones. Some patients can have nutritional problems, and it's part of the reason we give them so much nutritional education up front to avoid that.
Now, it's I assume that not everybody, when you see a large person, you say, well, he or she is eligible for this kind of surgery. Is that the case, or is that not the case? Not every person is eligible for this kind of surgery?
Well, about 5% of humans qualify for bariatric surgery, but they're all around us. 2/3 of the world are either overweight or obese, and some of them are clinically severely obese and do qualify. In layman's terms, you should be about 100 pounds overweight or 100% above your ideal body weight to qualify.
That's remarkable. Now, if a patient does qualify, what should they do next?
Call us. The phones are waiting. It's easy to enter our program. We have a website which you can call in and get the information about. There's an informational session on the website that tells patients all about what we offer. Patients can come in person to enter our program as well.
Now, what about insurance? When they talk about this, what happens for insurance? Does that cover this particular
Most
surgery?
conventional insurances do cover bariatric surgery. Most of them cover gastric bypass and adjustable gastric band.
All right, and well, at this point, we're going to take a little break from this and go back into a break, but thank you, doctor. And when we come back, 11 years after her heart transplant, bariatric surgery was her only hope to lose weight. Deborah Pinkerton will share her story next.